Hey guys, it's Hamster Munchies, and today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable polymer clay hamster drum. So the things you'll need are simple and easy to get. First, you'll need a beige colored polymer clay, translucent polymer clay, and light blue polymer clay. To start by rolling your beige colored clay into a ball. This is easy to do, but make sure that you have a clean, flat surface to work on. And make sure that you wash your hands beforehand so that you don't get little dust particles into your clay. These are really hard to remove if they're really mixed in, so just make sure you start out with a clean surface and clean hands to begin with. Once you've rolled out the ball, take your translucent clay and roll this out as well. Now I'm going to pinch off a small bit of translucent clay and roll it into a ball to make the tail. Attach this little translucent ball to the back of your hamster, and this is the perfect little tail. Now take the rest of your translucent clay, roll it out into a strip, and we're going to cut this into pieces, so make sure you have your blade. This is about how long mine is. It extends from the tip of my finger to about the first knuckle. Okay, so now get your blade and cut this into 4 pieces. Try to make them evenly sized, but it's okay if they're a little off. These will be the legs. So take each piece and roll it into a ball. The reason we rolled it out into a strip first is just because it makes it easier to get evenly sized pieces if it's in a strip rather than in a ball. So roll these out into round little balls. If you think your balls are a little too big to be feet, then you can cut them and re-roll them. Okay, now I'm just attaching the feet to my little hamster, and again, if you think your feet are a little bit too big, then you can cut them and re-roll them. I realized after I baked it that I might have maybe made the feet a little smaller because I just felt like they were a little bit too big. And as you can see on that leg, there's a little bit of dirt because I had a little bit of leftover clay from a different craft on my workspace. So if that happens to you, you can just use your X-Acto knife and cut it. Okay, so now I'm just kind of pressing the hamster to the ground a little bit so that he has a flat surface to stand on. Okay, so now I'm pinching out his snout a little bit and just kind of pinch it into a point. You don't have to be too specific about this. Just kind of pinch it into a snout until you are satisfied. Don't pinch it out too far or it'll look kind of weird. So here I'm pinching again and then flattening the front. And then you make sure you smooth out the edges. Alright, now I'm going to take my little blue ball of polymer clay and I'm cutting this in half, and I'm also going to use this for the face and the bow, so make sure you have enough for both. Then I'm cutting one of the halves in half again so that I have 2 evenly sized halves. If you want to roll this out into strips before you cut it, that's perfectly fine as well. Just re-roll it when you're finished. Then I'm cutting one of those halves in half again into 2 evenly sized halves. And now I'm going to roll this out into a ball. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, you can always use a knife or another sharp tool that you have. So here are my 2 little balls rolled out and ready. I'm going to stick these on as his eyes. His or hers. Depends on what you want to make your hamster. And remember, you can change up these colors if you want to make a different colored hamster. I just chose to make a little cream colored hamster. Okay, now take the smaller half that you cut before and roll this out and attach this as the nose, and make sure you flatten it out. You can shape it into a little oval or you can shape it into a little triangle if you want. It's totally up to you. I'm using my knife to push the sides of his nose into a little triangle. Now I'm taking that last piece and I'm going to roll it out into a very thin snake. This is going to be the bow. I decided not to add a mouth to my hamster's face, but if you think you want to add one, then you can do that. I just thought it would look cute without one. So here I am rolling out my thin snake, and as you can see, it is pretty thin. This is what it looks like in the end, and this is going to be my hamster's bow. Now just take your bow and attach the middle to the top of your hamster's head, which is what you can see me doing here. And I didn't attach it exactly in the middle, I realized afterwards. So make sure you do that because then it will make your bow even. So I'm just kind of folding it over and leaving a loop in the middle, and that is my bow. So make sure you flatten out and round out the details and smooth it all together to make it nice and even, and push up your loops to make a nice bow. I used my X-Acto knife to do this, and then I used my fingers to push up the loops. If you have clay tools, that's perfect, you can use those as well. Now I'm taking a little ball and I'm just going to add this to the bow to make it all come together. I'm adding it to the front because that's the place where you will see it the most. So I just kind of added it on and smoothed everything together. And we're done. Now bake your hamster according to the instructions on your clay package. I stuck an eye pin in it, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I did this because I wanted to make mine into a charm, which you can add to a necklace or a bracelet or a keychain, whatever you want. So if you add in your eye pin, or even if you don't, bake it according to the instructions, glaze it, and then you're finished. To glaze it, you can use Mod Podge or anything. I decided before I baked it to go in and add a few details to the nose and the paws, but that is totally up to you. Now it's finished, and I think it looks adorable. So this is my final product after I baked it and glazed it, and I love it. If you guys decide to make this, take a picture and share it with me tagging @HamsterMunchies, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!